Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are sitting down with CHAD SIWIK again, my bestie, my partner in all things cinema crime, to discuss the year anniversary of his last LP, self-titled CHAD SIWIK. So Chad, hello, welcome, love you. Can you believe it's been a year?
Hi, love you too, and no, I cannot. It's wild.
It's
Time,
insane that we filmed that a year ago.
we're living in a time warp now anyway, right? So,
No lies were told. Well, talk to me about, a year has elapsed. Your music is available on all streaming platforms. I'm using it, I'm seeing it on TikTok, I'm using it on TikTok. It's just an extraordinary album. Talk to me a little bit about how you feel right here and now, a year removed from putting that out into the world.
yeah, well, I really can't believe it's been a year, but I'm so proud of it. The work that Luke and I did together to make it a reality and all the hard hours that I put in to it. And I think it really still stands up. I mean, if I do say so myself, but I'm just super proud that I was able to pull off another long, like full length album after the first one I made, which I feel like to me seems like such an infant version of myself now. So to
Yeah.
have something that still feels like me out there that I believe in, that I worked really hard to make happen. Yeah, it's just I just still feel accomplished that I put it out.
And just to give people who may not have seen our original interview that we did last year after the release of the album, it is available on my channel and I'll link it below. It, of course, is also linked on Chad's channel. But you did record this, and we talked about this in the initial interview. You record this during quarantine in your home studio, and it was, correct me if I'm wrong, it was co-produced, or was it engineered with Luke Icard?
He was a producer, yeah. So
Producer,
co-producer
okay.
is a good way to put it. Yeah.
So we're talking about a couple of newly released remixes, okay? So we're going to get into
Yeah.
that, but talk to me about how the production and recording process for the remixes has been in comparison to when you recorded the album, 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's felt super creative. It's felt like there's a lot less pressure. It's felt a lot more fun. It's been a lot quicker because I'm pretty quick at producing music. A lot of the remixes I did by myself, completely by myself. And then a few Luke did, and then a few another good friend of mine, Eric, did, also known as Alabaster Christ, and Mike Haratska did one, and they're all of them are partners in crime. We all went to university together to study music,
Love
so
that.
super fun. They're super talented, and was just a lot less pressure, a lot more fun, very creative, because when you start off with just like a key and maybe a tempo that you have in mind and you already have the lyrics, there's so many places you could go with a song. Like there's so many different areas you could take it. There's so many different vibes you can explore. And it was just really fun doing that. I just love the art of possibility. And so I love making remixes. And from my first album, it was always the intention to put a lot of remixes out. And I just got sidetracked with new projects and I never really did that. So this time I said, I'm actually going to do a remix album. So first we did an EP, 6 songs, and I put a B-side on there as well, just to get that out and share that as well. And then I did another EP, another 6 remixes, for a total of 10 new remixes that make up a remix album playlist, which is it's like a parallel universe version of the album, really. It's like the album could have been like this. And it's just like a totally different experience. All the same songs, actually same order too, but all remixed. So lots of remixes. And then when I released the single for Dreamer, a couple of remixes on there. And we'll talk more. There's even more remixes coming out. So it's amazing.
I love this. And I love the way that you just, and I want to circle back to this, but I love what you just said about, these remixes being like, the multiversal version of this album. What would have it looked like if it had gone left instead of right. So talk
Yeah.
to us first, before we get into the remixes themselves. Talk to us a little bit about why you chose the two singles that you did, and what inspired you about those two individual tracks to
Mhm.
remix them and set them out as new singles.
Yeah, so the two singles that were promoted from the album are Horizon and Dreamer. And I talked to a lot of people. Luke and I kind of chose Horizon together, but we were very unified on that decision. And then I just talked to a bunch of people after the album was out, and I felt like that Dreamer was the next logical choice. It was the next kind of catchiest one. It still embodied that dance 80s sound that I have always been after. And so, yeah, and then I started working with a friend of mine, Eric, the aforementioned Alabaster Christ, on conceptualizing like what could a video be like. And he's really great at picking up on trends that are popping off on TikTok and social media. And at the time, actually, it was really popular to deep fake yourself with these apps. So we took my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies from 1927, Metropolis, and deep faked me into like the whole thing. And it was great because I didn't have to actually be in the video in a way, but I got to pay tribute to Fritz Lang, the director, and so that was amazing. That just all came together. But I think the single choices are just a combination of like, what do I think has the most appeal, and what am I hearing from people that they think has the most appeal. So
Yeah.
that's how I chose them. But yeah, pretty simple.
So the first single that you chose is Horizon, which we
Mhm.
talk about at length in the initial interview, about how the album as a whole, you were looking to kind of you were inspired by and drawing from 80s, which we know, and you wanted Horizon to kind of be at the beginning of the album because it set up the tone and the narrative for this kind of arc of the lifetime of a relationship, as it were. And
Right.
Horizon is tied with Alien for my favorite song on the album, but the Horizon remix is on another level. So I was curious what about Horizon lends itself in your mind to a remix, and what specifically was different about recording and producing the original version versus the remix.
Well, I just think that Horizon, again, just that appeal of it. I just think it's one of the more appealing songs to a wider audience, and so that just makes some songs just lend themselves so well. I think Breeze as well, which is one of your favorites, is lends itself for whatever reason really well to like different versions of itself. It's hard. It's a combination of like the BPM, what key it's in,
Yeah.
the fact that it's catchy. All those things make it really fun to remix. But yeah, Horizon, I think there's like four remixes of it, um, or something like that. And I think put put out even more. We'll talk about that. We haven't got to that yet.
And you
But
talk. Oh, sorry, go
yeah,
ahead. Go ahead.
no, no, I was just gonna wrap up and say that like that one was really fun to certain ones I knew like going into it. I can't wait to remix this one. And Horizon was definitely that one, just because whenever there's standout songs, those are the ones you gravitate to for remixing.
Definitely. And the vibe on the Horizon remix is fantastic. It's obvious you've labeled it a dance remix. And I
Yeah.
was wondering if you could talk to us a little bit before we move on to the second single and the second remix, Dreamer, which is a house remix. What is the difference in your mind between a dance track and a house track? And why did you
Right.
choose one for Horizon and the other for Dreamer?
Right. So I have a deep love of 12-inch singles and remixes and maxi singles and dance remixes and club culture. So these are all like, we tried it. I even researched if I wasn't sure, but we try to have really accurate club terminology. So, you can go down the rabbit hole on all these terms, but a dance remix is just a straightforward remix meant to be played in a club meant as dance music for people to dance to. House music is more stylized. It's a specific style of music. It comes from Chicago. It was called house because it was music that was produced by the DJs that was existed of that house, of that club. So it was like, you know, house wine, but it was the house music for that venue. So it's interesting, but I love the house sound. It's probably my favorite. And there's a number of instruments that really key you into, okay, this is house style. Yeah, so that was just fun to kind of go after. Also club, but it doesn't have to be, it's not necessarily locked into just dance. It could be just club music. So yeah, those terms, I tried to really get creative, or either be very creative or very accurate in like naming them.
Love that. Well, let's segue into Dreamer, because Dreamer is a house remix track. And Dreamer has one of my favorite lyrics. I talked about this in the initial interview, where you say, you know, I don't want to forget to remember. I absolutely love it. Chef's kiss. The lyrics in the song are stunning. And to your point, you've already made several remixes of some of your tracks, one of which is the pared down version of Dreamer, the Keep It Simple mix, which you just spoke to the video, paying tribute to Fritz Lang. I love the pared down remix. What was it like going from doing that, kind of just stripping it down, to then going back and looking at Dreamer as a house track?
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating to hear the same song work two drastically different ways. But you know, I love minimalism, and I also love to bring things to like be very chill. So you were saying that you couldn't believe how chill my album was in comparison to what you thought it might be, right? But I love that, and specifically the song Breeze, which you just mentioned some lyrics from. But yeah, for Dreamer, so for Explode, I did that. For the song Explode, made a really stripped down, super chill, like how chill can we make this song, even though it has a bombastic vocal. And then I wanted to do it again because I liked it so much. And that's one of your favorites, was the Explode one. So I wanted to do that again and go after like a super chill, really laid back sound, which is unlike me, but it's a new side of me that I love exploring. So I did it again for the Keep It Simple remix for Dreamer.
And the house remix of Dreamer is so interesting because, to your earlier point about house being more stylized, the remix has such an interesting and like apparent syncopation to it, that really sets it apart from just a club song or a dance song. So can you talk to us a little bit about how you arrived at like the beat and the syncopation for the remix for Dreamer?
Yeah, well, remixing is so much fun because once you have everything set just right in your digital audio workspace, you can speed up the tempo, speed everything up, slow everything down. I mean, it's just so creative, and you don't have to think about what the song's trying to convey because it's already there. You don't have to think about recording very pretty vocals because the vocals are already locked in. So kind of all the hard work is done, in my opinion, when you're remixing. Not to say it's easy, but it's certainly less pressure again,
Yeah.
and more fun. So yeah, just I think there always is going to be a dance aspect to what I do. I'd really like to shift gears next and do something that's just like really left turn and not dance and not 80s at all, which is kind of where I'm in the middle now. But yeah.
Okay, spoilers, hello. Now I'm excited. I mean,
Yeah.
that actually is like a perfect segue though into my kind of last question about the remix singles is, you know, you talked earlier about, you know, picking songs that have kind of popular appeal and that will lend themselves well to being remixed, but it's interesting to examine that from like a musical standpoint versus a lyrical standpoint. So I was wondering if there was anything about these two tracks lyrically that you felt lended themselves to, you know, being able to extrapolate these other, you know, vibes from.
Yeah, I think the fact that they're standout tracks and they're singles again just makes it more anything that's gonna catch someone's attention or really like stick in someone's memory, I feel like that's what you want to push more in a
Yeah.
way. But
Yeah.
also like I made a remix for every single song on the last album, and over a series of releases, put them out, and then compiled them all into like that remix multiverse album, which is I love that. I love that I was able to do that because but yeah, so yeah, all of those songs are now remixed. There's at least one for every single song, and I think there's like I don't even know, like four for Dreamer
I love
and a
this.
few for Horizon. Yeah. Dreamer
I
has
love
the most remixes.
I love this. I love this journey for you. I love this journey for us as listeners, because they're each the original album has such like a strong narrative arc, and listening to the remixes is just so fun to as a listener to just hear again like the story within the song being told lyrically, but under the context of like a completely different tone and vibe,
I
get
know.
you on your feet and dance and kind of recontextualize and reimagine like what the meaning of the song can be for you as a listener. So
Right.
I absolutely love the remixes. They're
It was
incredible.
important to me too that yeah, it was important as well that they weren't all just dance remixes. I wanted to do some that were more like I think Alabaster Christ did one that sounded reminds me of like being in the movie The Purge or something. It's just completely batshit crazy. And I love that because it's not like traditional dance music, or like we said, the stripped down chill
Yeah.
versions are even more chill, less dance than the original versions. So obviously most of them are more dance and house because that's the point of a remix, is to be played
Right.
in a club. So but yeah, I mean, I think the creativity of remixing lends itself to like I just didn't want to do just a dance remix album.
Yeah.
I wanted the remixes to really explore the creativity of what a remix is all about.
Well, I think that comes through loud and clear, and I think your fans and people that are listening to the remixes for the first time are really absolutely going to love just the variety of vibes and just how danceable you've made already, you know, tracks that already have great hooks. Like you've made them just there's kineticism to them and you just want to move when you play them. So that comes through loud and clear. And I just want to say that, you know, because I have the inside track on all things CHAD Civic, I heard from a little birdie that there might be something released on June 18th in celebration of the 1 year anniversary. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that, please? And thank you.
Of course, yes. So I will be putting out, I teased it on social, but I haven't really said anything. But now we're gonna say that exactly 1 year after the first album, I'm gonna put out an extended version of the album. So
Love it.
it's gonna collect all of the remixes all in one place. It'll go through the track list from the album, all the remixes, your typical like deluxe or extended version of an album. So this is something else I always wanted to do, like different versions of albums, because all my favorite artists do it. But also just to sort of, you know, if someone just wants everything all in one place, I feel like
Yeah,
it's organizational.
we love that. We
And
love.
on Bandcamp, I'm even gonna throw in just like remixes I didn't use. So I think there'll be
Oh,
like
awesome.
29. Yeah, it'll be like a 29 track album on Bandcamp.
Oh, you
So, and
are.
I think 27 tracks everywhere else, like Apple Music, Spotify. Yeah.
We love that. You are feeding your audience, and we're very, very happy.
Yes.
Well,
So I'm
I
excited to put that out.
I am very excited, and everything will be available across all streaming platforms on the 18th.
Yeah, yeah. So the extended version is a playlist, so it'll be on SoundCloud, Apple Music, Spotify, Bandcamp. It'll be on those, and YouTube. It'll be on all those.
Awesome. And I
Yeah.
will make sure all things are linked down below, including Chad's YouTube channel, our previous interview, his website, everything you could possibly need. Chad, is there anything else that you want to say about the remixes?
No, but you know, thanks so much for the, you know, help and promotion. And I'm always excited to do this with you, Mel.
Ditto. It's my pleasure and my honor. And yeah, for those of you that are on the Children's Clock app, otherwise known as TikTok, start using Chad sounds. They're amazing. And we'll link everything down below. And I just want to say I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for June 18th and for what comes next. So with that, I will say thank you one more time. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you on the other side.
See you on the other side. Thank you.